Hey.
Open the show.
Welcome to More Than Lyrics.
How about you just open the show? Let's do that.
Okay. Well, welcome. we want to welcome you. I am Bobby. And as always, we have the magnificent GT, George T. And today's guest, Mr. Tim.
Mr. Tim.
Mr. Tim.
Mr. Tim.
Mr. Tim. Okay. Is that like Mr. T?
Well,
Or Mr. Tim? Mr. Tim. I don't know. I feel like that's what 5-year-olds call me. Mr.
I know.
Tim.
I'm Mr. Bobby when I go to the school.
I'm like,
Or I'm somebody's dad. Like I don't have any identity when I go into. Oh, you're Oakland's dad. Thank you for that.
Tim.
Yeah.
Mr. Tim.
Mr. Tim.
Well, Tim. I mean, I just know you as Tim.
Okay. How about the Floyd?
There we go. The
Floyd.
Floyd and the one you know.
AKA the Clarity Doctor.
Yeah. There we go.
Bam.
I love it.
Nobody can introduce themselves better than the person that wants to be introduced.
100%.
You know, unless it's your wife.
Yeah, you gotta listen to whatever the wife says.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, if she introduces you,
Well, she's gonna give me the greatest introduction of all time.
that's what I'm saying. So I wouldn't say nobody can.
Yeah.
I would say your wife.
Yes.
Your significant other. You know.
I'm not even worthy of that.
Mr. Tim, what do you do?
There ain't not Mr. Tim.
Mr. Floyd.
All right, what do I do? So, how do you like it? How do you like it? I'm a software developer by day, work from home public schools. I'm a writer, author, speaker, business coach, men's advocate, just advocate for artists. I have a platform called Hear My Voice, allowing artists to share their vision, their voice, and their story, because artists need to be heard outside of just singing and writing and rapping. But they got a real story that needs to be heard.
Yeah.
Do you do features with Hear My Voice?
It depends if I'm doing like an event.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm doing an event, then I'll do features.
I guess I connected the open mic that you're doing with Hear My Voice. Is that not what it is?
Same thing. Okay. So Hear My Voice is more than just the open mic.
Gotcha.
So it's interviews, it's events, it's anything that allows artists to share their vision, their voice, and their story. Hear My Voice.
I see it now.
You see it now?
That's why you were saying that what we're doing is similar to Hear My Voice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, just a shameless plug.
Shameless.
There is, so the podcast is More Than Lyrics. We also have the open mic at Sozo Coffee Shop. It's usually the first Friday of the month.
Mm.
We're going to skip the first Friday in July because it's the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
But check us out. More Than Lyrics, open mic.
Boom.
Speaking of, Tim, what does More Than Lyrics mean to you?
Ooh. But typically when you hear lyrics, I think the impression or the implication that they're meaningless words.
Mm.
But when you're writing and you have the lyrics to something, I believe that those are actually, powerful thoughts that change the universe.
Writing changes the universe.
I think that's what they are. So it's more than
Words
just
change
lyrics.
the universe.
You know, it's how you program your world. So when you're writing, you're singing, you're developing anything, that's programming. That's already on the inside of you, and it's coming out. And I think a lot of times when people need healing and have been through a lot, they have to sort of vomit on paper and then make sense of all those feelings, that pre-programming from childhood trauma, situations, bad learning, bad information. They got to find out what's inside me that can tell me why I behave the way I do. Why can't I keep a job? Why am I getting fired? Why can't I be faithful? Like, there's a lot of questions that people have. And I'm talking from a men's point of view, right? So, and if we don't do a deep dive to figure that out, we'll just keep going on autopilot with that pre-programmed instructions, routines that keep playing over and over and over in the back of your head or in your subconscious. And so I believe that writing lyrics to a song, lyrics to a poem, because we're all telling our own story in some way or the other.
I was thinking when G told me you was going to be on the program, I was like, you couldn't have picked a better candidate. I mean, like, this guy is the epitome of More Than Lyrics. Like,
Yeah.
I know
Oh
you,
my God.
So like I was telling you,
tripping.
I don't remember what year I met you, but I know I've known you
17.
before we had gray in our beards.
Yeah, I can't believe you got gray.
Man, it caught up to me. I was like,
The gray be like, I'm gonna get you.
just dodging
I'm gonna
years.
get you.
I'm saying you can't see it. I mean, you probably can't see it. I got some grays in here too.
You got some silvers, but
Yeah, you got a little bit.
I'm joining the club.
you got a little glisten.
The Wise Man's Club.
But you got it right there. That's you.
That's a kid.
Yeah, it's concentrated right there.
He's
Kid
concentrated.
is right here.
But yeah, man, it's like as long as I've known you, it's like you always have something inspirational to say to somebody. You always, and I see on Facebook and I see you online, and you always say something that other people may. It just goes through our life. We just live day to day. We just go to work. We got to do this, and then you'll speak on something that just make you slow down and be like, yeah, he's right though. He's right.
That's funny.
You slow people down in a good way.
Okay,
And
I
like,
never
like you,
like that.
yeah. I appreciate
Like you running
the
along.
things that you write, because you're not writing a book that people will be like, man, I ain't got time. Just the short things that you say, the little things that you say,
Wow.
you slow us down.
Slow us down. I'm about to use that.
So we were I was looking for another guest, and I have a few people that I want to get on the show. But we were at the Walnut Hill block party that we do every year with City Light, and Tim walks up, and I'm like, I don't know why I didn't even think to talk to Tim.
Wow.
But what I wanted to talk to you about when I saw you is the vision, because that is what you do, is writing the vision statements. And as you were telling Bobby on the way in here, write the vision, make it plain. You were the first person I ever heard that from.
Really?
Before I even read it in the Bible.
Seriously?
Yeah. But I didn't know that was scripture.
Okay.
But I've heard it so many times since then, and I always think of you.
Yeah. Like once you hear it, you can't unhear it. Then all of a sudden you get all this confirmation.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe I did hear it, and I just didn't. It never stuck or stuck out until I heard it from you. Why don't you share why vision is important?
Man, that's a woo.
He came out with it.
Man, it's a couple reasons, and I would say the number one thing is the majority of our senses, or the major sense, like of the 5, 6 senses, whatever people want to say, right? Eyes, ears, mouth, whatever. The sense of seeing is the strongest.
Okay.
Seeing is our strongest sense. And I say that because biologically, the body has more receptors to recognize light than anything else. There's more receptors, feeling receptors, sensory receptors to recognize light. And what is light for? For you to be able to see. So that's our greatest sense. And so it's more pronounced. What?
Blowing my mind over here.
So, which is why you wake up in the morning, if you're used to being able to see, and you wake up one day and you can't see, you're going to freak out more than if you can hear.
Yeah.
I mean, you're fine. You're going to be freaked out, but because even again, hearing helps you to see.
Yeah.
So when you can't hear something, what do?
Yeah.
When you can't see something, like they're so intrinsically connected, which is why when you say words, you're literally forming a picture through the words.
You see it in your head.
You see it in your head. Like I can say something when everybody says write the vision, so you writing it down, and all of a sudden, poof, there's a picture in your head. So that's why vision is so important, because we have to be able to see where we're going. Yeah. We literally have to see it. And so when you're a kid, where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? You want to see the destination. You're taking a car ride. You know what I mean? Where are we going, Daddy? Where are we going? Where are we going?
Yeah.
Because they need to be able to see it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're uncomfortable. They're not safe. When you're married, they want to know, your wife wants to know the vision. Okay, where are we going? What are we doing? I need to be able to see this thing because it represents safety, stability. Letting leaders, they have to be able to cast the vision, you know, shine light so the people that are going can know what to do, can be able to orient themselves according to the destination. So vision is everything. But most of the time, people don't create vision or look for vision. They focus on right now. Everything is now. Whatever they feel like right now, whatever they want to do right now. And it doesn't usually relate to the vision of what they see because everything is right now emotion. And this is what I'm going to do. And so a lot of times, because people are right now people, we're all, you know, right now people, everything that's done is constantly changing. I feel like this, so I'm gonna do this. And I'm, you know, George, we go this all the time. I'm like, dude, you gotta, but everything is minute by minute of some new thing that we feel like we want to do instead of sitting back and saying, what's the vision? What's the real destination? And then let me lock in on that and stay true and stay aligned with that and that alone. That's what builds the momentum. That's what builds, you know, the trajectory. You can stay on that same trajectory. Like I've been on the same path since we met. I haven't changed. It's like I teach people, I give people the clarity that they need so that they can succeed. Clarity of the vision, and that's it. And I just keep focusing on that because that's my thing. So it's important. You got to have vision. Like you wear glasses, man. If they were cracked, if they were dirty, if the lenses were spotted, you're like, let me clean my glasses off because you need clarity. Yeah. Hope that answered it.
Yeah, it does. When you were talking about the light, like just my mind blew. I guess I never made that connection, and it's so simple, right?
Yeah.
We have light to see things. And I mean, we're all believers. Jesus is the light of the world, right? And I don't know, I haven't had time to really process like what does that mean aligned with vision, but I think I'm gonna do some writing on that.
You definitely do. I mean, and alignment with vision is literally saying if you have a destination, make sure all your steps are going in that direction. That's alignment. That's literal alignment. Make sure your
called
steps.
to be the light in the darkness.
The light in the darkness, yeah.
And
That's
it's a
the other
beacon.
thing. Like darkness can't exist where there's light.
When it's a beacon, it's something that somebody can look at, and like he said, it's a trajectory. It's a path to follow. You don't worry about what's to the left and the right of that darkness.
Nope.
As long as you focus on that light, you can move in that direction.
There you go.
And I think that's what, like, I mean,
Go
based
to
on
the
these
light.
things, that's what attracts us to even to each other. You can look at somebody and you can spend a very little time with them, and you can see that they may not have any light in them. But some people are attracted to darkness because of the darkness within themselves.
Word.
Come on now.
Yep.
Well,
And then you made mention about with our hearing and our eyes. I used to deliver pizzas, and for some strange reason, while I was looking for an address, I would turn my
Well, you-
radio down.
yes.
It didn't. It
That
didn't.
is funny, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't affect.
I would roll my window
Yeah.
down.
See that?
Like I'm looking, but I need to hear something.
Yeah, it's like, why? And I just like, why do I keep turning my radio down to find an address?
Well,
Interesting.
the other piece of that is your mind is trying to visualize and focus and imagine the house, the location, and the number. The sound
It's distracting.
is interrupting your vision. Like you're hearing this,
Yeah.
so you literally can't think, okay, which house is it? What does it look like? Let me read these numbers, because you constantly have the song coming through, which is kind of creating another vision. It's making you think about something else. Then you drive right past the house.
That's crazy.
It is, but it's amazing. It's just,
Yeah, this is just the way we work.
it's
man.
just the way we're wired.
Yeah.
Can't fight it. Just join it. Okay, bet.
And as long as I've known you, like there's people that you can meet, and you see them, and you're like, oh man, they're gonna talk like this, or they're gonna do this, and so you gotta, try to find a way to dodge them and stuff. But you're not.
not the
You're
dodge
so
guy?
inspirational.
Wow.
You're so uplifting. It's like if I see Tim from a distance or something, I was like, oh, there's Tim, and I gotta come over, because you're always gonna say something that's relevant, and you're always gonna say something that doesn't make people feel bad about themselves. And at the same time, you hold everybody accountable with every word that comes out of their mouth. Like, not in a bad way. Like, when I sat there and I was like, we're going to get together. And you're like, well, what day?
Right.
Yeah. Because it's so easy. But that's what I say. Tim slows us down.
Yeah.
Tim's going to, I'm going to have to start carrying a planner when I'm,
funny.
it's like, well, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Let me get what you doing on Tuesday.
yeah. Let's get it done.
It's
let's
like,
make it happen.
You don't allow the conversation to just be idle and to just move forward. You freeze the moment and you keep people focused on the things that they say. And that's what I mean by holding people accountable. So I'm saying, let's get together and let's work on this music project.
Yeah.
You're not saying, okay, and then we walk away. You're saying,
there's
what
need to
date?
see the vision.
Right now, what date?
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that about you.
Intention.
I have to do that. I can't tell you how many people I run by and it's like, we're going to get together. We never do.
We never do.
That's why this
And I'm
project is still
tired of
there.
I'm so tired of that.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah. So I really appreciate you doing that. I
Absolutely.
appreciate you doing that. I need that.
Namaste.
Yeah. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
I think that I'm moving at a slow pace. And I always tell my kids, slow down, live in the moment, focus on your next move, and I think I'm moving pretty slow.
And define your next move. And that's what the other thing is. I think next moves aren't defined. Like I was telling you the other day, which is a thing that I started working on, is every decision has 7 moves after it. 7 moves. So
See, and you know that. And you're
I'm
about to
thinking
help us.
seven moves deep. Because what happens is we do projects on a whim, and then we sit with no momentum, waiting to figure out what we're going to do next. We get excited about that one project, that one podcast, that one show, that one event, but it doesn't tie into the vision. It doesn't tie into a thought about, well thought through outcome that you really want. And so we do these things that are very isolated and we don't know how they connect. And a lot of times they do connect, but we just don't know how. And so when you sit down with an idea and you say, what, I want to do this, and you're all excited, then it's like, okay, well, after you do that, then what? I don't know. Well, why are you doing this? I don't know. I just want to do it. Well, think about why you want to do it. I don't know. Okay, well, sit with yourself. Oh, I want to do it because of this. All right, cool. That's why you want to do it. What's the next thing after that to lead you to the next point? Oh, okay. Then you start mapping that out. Once you got 7 things, then you're like, okay, now execute. Execute the first one you said. Now you're boom, 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 boom. Full of trajectory, full of momentum, full of steam, because you know what you're doing. You're using the things that you gain from that one event or that one activity to now springboard and spill over into the next thing. And then it's addition. Like you're adding things up because everything we do adds up anyway. So add it up in the right way to come up with a specific sum that you want. Because life is math.
Yeah.
It's all math. Everything's adding up.
Life is math.
Life is math.
That's a bar.
It's a
So
bar.
let's take this opportunity for you to tell the studio audience. So where can they pick up your book?
So I have a journal. It's called the Alignment Journal. 12-week alignment journal. If you go to theclaritydoctor.com and click in the menu and go to books, you can purchase a copy. It's called the 12-week alignment journal. Yep.
I didn't know you had that.
Oh, why wouldn't he?
Why wouldn't you? Yeah. I'm hearing about
I
it.
sent it to you.
He's not going to keep all this in there.
I can't.
You cannot.
I can't.
You would do a horrible injustice.
So I'm gonna tell you, I had the wildest experience with this person that I met online. Wild.
Uh-oh.
Details?
Wild, bro. So the Alignable, right? I was on Alignable. This cat reached out to me, or we connected on Alignable, and I'm like, okay, well, so his name is Nigel. So I'm like, that's not a common name. And we have our immediate perceptions of somebody named Nigel who's from another country, because we know the stereotype. Oh, they're reaching out for a scam. They want to sell me some Bitcoin and do some forex trading, or you want to buy some land in Muganda. I mean, just something.
Yeah.
I went to his page, and it was called the human activator. That's what his brand is. He's the human activator. And I was like, oh, so I checked out some stuff. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's connect. Got on a call, and dude was just deep. And he was like, as I start telling him what I do, and then he sits back, he said, I've been looking for you.
What?
That sounds scary.
Right.
It was scary, but intriguing.
Alignment.
Yeah, that's a movie right there.
Alignment. And he was like, what I do is I am on a search. My assignment is for 144,000 people who are neos in this world. And he said, he was like, I have to unlock you, because you have to give people sight and show and cast vision so we can see.
That's wild.
And he was like, and I'm Morpheus, and this is what my gift is.
What were you just talking about?
Dude, I kid you not.
Oh, it's Obi-Wan.
Yeah. And he's looking to be your Obi-Wan.
Right. It was crazy. And dude was just talking, and I sat back in my chair like this. I mean, he was literally reading my life.
Wow.
I mean, I was sharing stuff with him, the things that I see, because it's just crazy. Like, I see stuff, I see code. And he was like, I know why. And he was like, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, holy cow.
That's wild.
It was very wild.
That-
I got off the call, and I didn't even know what to do. I was just, I was like, what do you...
Take a second.
Yeah, I had to go get a shot of tequila. I was like, okay. Is this real? Did this just happen?
Yeah.
But definitely he spoke to me
Yeah.
in a way that very few people speak to me. And it was just like, okay, I'm on the right path. Like, I'm meeting the people that I need to meet. It's like, there's people who want to get out of the matrix, as he called it. He's like, there's people who want to be able to see out of this rat race. And he was like, when you cast the vision for people, they can find their way out. And I was, and I was just like, wow, okay. And I'll share this and take it what you can. So I'm a computer programmer, right? So that's what I've been doing for like the last 20 years. When you're writing computer language, there is a word that basically represents something empty. Something empty, and it's called null. Like, when we use the word null. So think of something flowing, and all of a sudden you get to like this missing piece. That's a null. It stops because there's nothing there. It stops everything. It stops the flow because there's a null. There's no data. There's no information. There's nothing to process. It's just an empty block, right? So that's called null. And so what he said was, I would say people who don't want us enlightened, or people who don't want us to be aware, have introduced null into our minds.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And
100%.
and what the null, so in computer programming, it's called null. But in regular English, guess what it's called?
Distraction.
The word is not.
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 Okay.
Not. Not stops everything. So when you use not, in your language, you're stopping the flow of any intention and any forward progress. So cannot,
Can't. Yeah, that's what I was
cannot,
thinking.
will not,
Yeah.
do not, should not. Don't say the word not.
That's good.
And when you remove that word, all you have is intention flowing. Or when you use that word, you have a blockage.
Yeah.
When you don't use the word, all you have is intention flowing, and it flows whichever direction you want to do.
That seems to make sense because when, like I tell my kids, don't speak negativity into existence.
Yeah.
You know, you don't say, well, I can't do this. Well, don't use that word. There's another way around it. You know, we're going to always stay positive and stay focused and think of another way around. And I guess just as much as you can speak positive things, you also can speak.
So it's a difficult thing, but so in the natural world, there is no word not in nature. Everything is do. So even like when we're telling, like because it's been introduced into our language, we say it. So we say, don't do this, do not do that. So we're using it all the time. So to really program correctly, always say, do this. Because a lot of times we tell them, do not. Okay, they're stuck. Well, what do I do? So everything is do this.
Yeah.
So
I like
if they're doing an action that is something you don't want to do, don't want them to do, you stop them. You say, hey, do this.
Do this.
Yeah.
Don't say don't do this. Don't do not. Do
this instead.
Because we all have energy. So we're moving, right? We're flowing in whatever direction. All we need to do is be steered. So just turn them and say do. They're already doing. You don't want to stop their doing. You just want to point their doing in the direction that you want them to go. Because we're always doing something.
I hate to be that guy,
Is
but
that our time already?
it's time.
Oh,
Oh, man. I feel like we just got started.
I know it was getting good.
I still have so many
We
questions.
got to bring Tim back for episode 2 already.
Let's do that.
all right.
Real quick, drop how people can get in touch with you, and then we're out of here.
All social media at The Clarity Doctor, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, all at The Clarity Doctor, or go to my website, theclaritydoctor.com.
Peace. We out of here.
All right. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.